Mhm.
Hi, everybody. Today we gather together and we have an incredible panel and we have a fantastic, a fantastic discussion to have. But before we dive into the longevity and how to stay young and all the secrets that our panel will tell us about how to stay long and what exactly Professor Sinclair does, let me introduce our absolutely amazing panel. We have Anastasia Kariagina here. She is in an amazing place and she'll tell us in a second where she is at because it looks absolutely stunning. Anastasia got her PhD from Institute of Physiology of the Siberian branch of the Russian Academy of Medical Science and Physiology. Now she is assistant professor at the Department of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics at Michigan State University. We have to mention that Anastasia right now, and I'm sorry I mispronounced your name, I said Anastasia, it's a Slovenian way of saying her name, but internationally more proper probably Anastasia. So Anastasia right now working on the subject and looking at effects of plants flavonoids on obesity, inflammation, and breast cancer. So I'm happy to introduce our second panel member. This is Irina Pechalidi, and she got actually dual medical degree. She is a medical doctor from Russia, from Ossetia University, and now she is also a podiatrist doctor here in New York. So she has incredible, incredible schooling behind her and a lot of the insight on this subject. I used to be, I'm also former medical doctor. My education is from a medical school, a medical university in Ural, Yekaterinburg. Right now, I'm registered respiratory therapist and a sleep disorder specialist. And I have to tell you that not only for myself, but all of my patients and my clients, the subject of how to stay long, how not to snore at night, how to sleep well and look well is probably the tons of questions that we have on a subject. So let me start with the question to Anastasia. Anastasia, where are you at right now? It looks stunning.
Hello, everybody. This is a really good place, incredibly looking place, very green, a lot of trees. This is a rest area on Highway 94, which goes from Detroit to Chicago. We're right now going to Chicago for presentation on longevity and anti-aging tomorrow, and this is kind of stop area on our way.
That's great.
Beautiful. So I think the first question goes to both of our panelists here. Is there a way to reverse aging? Can I start with Anastasia since she just, started the conversation, and then I will ask Irina to please continue on that subject.
Absolutely. I think this question would sound ridiculous, maybe even a decade ago. People would think it's like it's fiction, science fiction, how to reverse aging. But right now we have so many evidence done by scientists in different fields, in genetics, in molecular biology, and biochemistry, and we know that actually there are ways to reverse aging from the perspective of science. And furthermore, scientists know that there is no mechanism that determines aging. So basically, if you look at our biology, there is no mechanism that would tell us we have to die at specific age. So I do believe that we can reverse aging.
What do you think, Irina? Is there a way to reverse aging?
I would definitely agree with Anastasia saying that, yes, a decade ago, people would think that we insane saying that there is a way of reversing ages. aging going back to youthful fountain. But yes, nowadays we're all talking about reversing ages. And why is it possible? Because in the face of different researches, in the face of different academic researches, scientific researches, and etc., the World Health Organization actually accepted aging as a disease, not as a process. And this is very interesting statement, because before we didn't think of it this way. And why they think so? Because as we go through the life, we sometimes misbehave in terms of what we eat, how we sleep, how we lead our day, and a lot of stress around us, a lot of free radicals influence the aging. So what happens, people gather some different symptoms and diseases not even knowing about it. Because when we see the symptoms, the age began many, many, many years ago. So when we sick, of course, we die early. When we're not sick, when we're healthy, we of course can lead a better life and live longer. And hey, what is the age? Age is just a number. And in reality, there can be biological age, which is actually written on the walls of our endothelial of the vessels. And there is a chronological age that we can see in our passport. So which one is the age? We don't know that. So what can we do to reverse it? How can we stop it? We can start from a few things. First of all, we should change our diet. Actually, very famous David Sinclair, the Harvard University's professor, he proposed that we should follow more plant-based diet, more protein diet, plant-based proteins, not the meat proteins. And the other way, we have to do the intermittent fasting. So to speak, intermittent fasting also prolongs life. And of course, the exercises will prolong our life. And why they would prolong our life? Because exercise isn't just beneficial for the fitness, for the way we look, but the exercise is also beneficial for our internal organs. Let's say if we're sitting down a lot and a long time, what happens? Our muscles atrophy. What happens? We have less musculature around the hips, and that promotes us not only to for our internal organs to get displaced and misplaced, but also we break the hips because the bones became much, much weaker. And also when we don't exercise, we lose some hormones. For instance, men lose their testosterone, and etc., etc. So exercise is absolutely amazing thing. When we exercise, we can actually slow down cancer. I'm sure not everybody have heard of it. We decrease the cardiovascular diseases about 30%, which is an amazing number. It's a tremendous amount of people. And of course, we can propose and boost our metabolism. And as we exercise, even walking 4,000 steps a day, not necessarily 10,000 steps a day, will help us because it stimulates our glucose uptake. Because as we age, some people start getting glucose intolerance. And that's how they build up sugar, diabetes, and high cholesterol, and many, many other diseases. But as we exercise, the glucose uptake is being actually stimulated. And of course, the glucose level is getting down, which is very important. But also, believe it or not, we grow new blood vessels. And when we have a new blood vessels, as opposed to old and sick blood vessels, of course, we age much, much slower, and we're not as sick as we used to be. And hey, so many animals, they live much longer than us. Let's say bowhead whales, they live 200 years and more. Are we worse than them? Absolutely not. Let's say Galapagos giant tortoise, she lives 152 years. Or Greenland shark, they live from 300 to 500 years. And there is one another interesting animal. It's immortal jellyfish. When it is getting older, it reverses and it's getting younger. And all those animals, they don't have the supplements that we have. They don't have the abilities that we have. So yes, we can reverse age.
That's amazing. And you know what you mentioned about aging as a disease, for me as a holistic practitioner, because I try to approach disease in a holistic way. If you think about it, disease means not being in a state of ease. So this is the word disease, and you know, that's exactly what happens when we age. We no longer in a state of ease, unfortunately, but we like to be. So let's see how to stay in a state of ease even with aging, and how and what's going on a molecular mechanism, what a molecular mechanism of aging are. Let's ask Anastasia to you know, to open this a little bit.
Yes, actually, scientists already discovered at least 3 major pathways that's responsible for anti-aging or longevity. So scientists don't use the word anti-aging, they use the word longevity. And these 3 pathways, they actually have some overlapping reactions, but the major pathway that's probably the most important pathway for anti-aging, it's called sirtuins. So sirtuins, it's a family of proteins, and there are 7 proteins like that, and they all work in the cellular functions. They repair our DNA. They can kind of help our genome to maintain integrity so we don't develop cancer. And sirtuins work as metabolic guardians. So what they do, they help our body to sense glucose and uptake glucose and be insulin sensitive. So kind of they prevent diabetes. Sirtuins maintain our bones, maintain our hormone production. They maintain cell division. So many cellular functions, including oxidation, which is a function of cell being using oxygen and producing carbon dioxide. So it's a major function of the living cell, respiration. And all these sirtuins activated by several things, like we will talk a little bit more about it. It's the molecule called NAD+, which stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. And this molecule is absolutely essential for living and for anti-aging. So NAD molecule activates all sirtuins. And sirtuins work in multiple organs. Another pathway that's also important for protecting our genome and kind of longer healthy life, it's called mTOR. mTOR, it's like small letter M, it stands for mammalian, and TOR stands for target of rapamycin. It's a drug that's used for treatments of some immune dysfunctions like autoimmune reactions. So what this pathway does, it's actually activated by amino acids. So when we eat steak, your protein breaks down into smaller components called amino acids. And some of these amino acids that are very abundant in steak, like leucine, isoleucine, and valine, these amino acids stimulates mTOR. And it's kind of sends signal, okay, everything is good. We have plentiful meal. So let's build our muscle. So bodybuilders love mTOR molecule because they start building muscle. So they actually activate the mTOR by using protein shakes that have a lot of leucine and isoleucine. But unfortunately, this process also decreases our lifespan. So if you want to live longer, we need to turn off mTOR. And we can turn off this pathway by fasting. And it doesn't mean that you have to fast, like stay without food for whole day. You just can eat shorter period of time in each day. Let's say you have a late breakfast and early dinner. So you have 18 hours between, and this is called intermittent fasting. And this is enough to turn off mTOR, and it will help to prolong your life. But probably, you know, if you do intermittent fasting every day, you actually can rewind your biological clock back by 2 years every year. So you can kind of grow younger in this way. So, and the third pathway that is also very important, it's called AMPK pathway. This pathway is controlling glucose uptake. So that's a kind of also metabolic sensor. It senses glucose in the blood. And again, it's activated when glucose is low, and it promotes our longevity. So if you fast periodically, then you promote your AMPK pathway, and then you have increased longevity. And you know what? It's interesting. All these pathways were studied in different species, like in humans, in rats and mice, in fruit flies, in worms. And in all species, they found the same effect. So these pathways prolong life. So, and it's pretty easy. So intermittent fasting and exercises, it will be good for you to activate these pathways. And also NAD+, and we'll talk about it more.
Very interesting. Thank you. Irina, what is your look on molecular mechanism of aging?
Well, I would believe that this is more Anastasia's part because she loves it. No, well, what happens when we age, the amount of NAD plus decreases in our cells. But NAD plus is absolutely needed. If we, let's say, remove NAD plus from all our cells, we're gonna die in 30 seconds. You see how important is this for us. So what we need to boost it, NAD plus, we need to take NMN. The NMN will promote sirtuins to boost NAD plus and decrease, prolong longevity and increase our healthy state, not the sick state. And in this term, I would say that there are so many NMN supplements on the market. And I believe that the NMN premium is the most effective because it has very unique ingredients in it, very unique and very rare. So it has the NMN ingredient, it's 200 NMN. It has a pterostilbene of 100 milligram. It also has PQQ, pyrroloquinoline, and it has mangosteen. Not other supplements have it. And this is very important because when they work together, they promote the right pathway for NAD to increase in our body. So why do we need to take an MM? As I said, we want to live longer, but not only live longer, we want to be in a happy state, healthy state, and in our right memory. So what does the NMN does? When it increases the amount of NAD plus in our cells and in every cell, what happens? We have a better muscle growth. You know that after age 25, 30 years old, the muscle growth decreases. And after 50-year-old, we lose 1% of our muscles. Even though we exercise, we definitely need the supplements, and it's a very proven scientific fact. So as I said, it will promote muscle growth. It will promote the growth of new vessels, which definitely lead us to longer and happier living. It will promote the glucose tolerance. Thus, the glucose level, especially in people with diabetes, will go down. It will promote better and healthier and faster metabolism. And in this term, we will not gain so much fat. Actually, it will regulate the lipoic metabolism, okay? It will promote better circulation. It will promote better brain function. And it's proven that it improves memory, it improves impaired memory and recall memory and focus, okay? A lot of people who already take NMN, they actually saying that the memory has improved drastically, okay? Actually, people with infertility saying that it also helped them. And even menopause is going postponed. Some people even get their menstrual cycle back. And I know those people personally, okay? It increases exercise capacity. After you take NMN for 2 months, exercise capacity greatly increases, okay? And one of the ingredients in the NMN, which is a pterostilbene, is also provide anti-oxidative benefits to all our internal organs. As of, it improves the eyes, it improves our vision, it improves the liver, decreases the fatty liver, improves the heart health, increases also muscle mass, not also the muscle powers. And it also improves the skin health and how the skin look, okay? Because with the age, our skin obviously getting a little worse, okay? And mangosteen is also very amazing. Do you know that mangosteen was used many thousand years ago in non-traditional medicine. And now we use it even in the traditional medicine because it's a very powerful medication. It's a superfood, so to call, because it affects almost every organ in our body. How amazing is that? It decreases the inflammation. It supports immune system. And especially nowadays, we definitely need our immune system to be very good, in a good state. It improves skin elasticity and skin health. And also it affects the weight management. It decreases the extra weight. So therefore, this is what I think of that. Thank you.
Irina, thank you so much. You know, not only you opened a little bit about the molecular mechanism and what's going on with our body, but you also touched the whole, you know, big deal on NMN and NAD+. For some of you who don't know what it is, and is it really a supplement, from the biologist and, you know, point of view, from the scientist point of view, I'm going to ask Anastasia to please open up and explain to us all what exactly NAD and NMN, why we need to take it, and how do we take it actually from your point of view?
Yeah, this is excellent question. So I even don't want to call NMN as supplement because it's something that present in every living cell. And NAD+, we already talked about it, and Irina just mentioned that this molecule presents everywhere. So this molecule participates in all reactions. It's also natural for our body. So it's kind of, it's not supplement in terms of, it's not exogenous to our body, it's an endogenous chemical. So what's happening when we take NMN, let's say, NMN, it's nicotinamide mononucleotide, it gets in the cell and it converts into NAD+. So we call NMN is the precursor of NAD+. And the reason why we take NMN, because until recently, we couldn't take NAD+ orally because it doesn't get in the cell and it cannot pass cell membrane. So actually it's really hard for NAD+ to help human body because it has to be, what happens if it gets into your, let's say, bloodstream through intravenous injection, like many celebrities do, it has to be converted to NMN first, and then NMN will get in the cell, and in the cell, NMN will be converted back to NAD+. So it's like very convoluted process. And that's why we recommend to take NMN, which is direct. It will go straight to your cell and will be converted into NAD+, and you get a positive effect. And Irina mentioned how many positive effects we have, and I just want to mention one more, because I just did research on that, and NAD+ and NMN shown to have very positive effect in people with different neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer, and some neuropathies like diabetic neuropathy or multiple sclerosis. So all these diseases of nervous system, people benefit from taking NMN. And when I'm asked what kind of NMN it's better to take, I can tell you there are hundreds of NMNs on market. I wouldn't take anything from Amazon because most of them don't have NMN in those supplements. But there are some companies, they do diligent work, they do clean their NMN, and they provide like pure NMN, they provide certificates of purity, and they provide third-party testing results for heavy metals. There are a few that I would recommend, but honestly, I would recommend only something that I'm trying myself, something that I'm using every day, and something that I see results. And this is NMN Premium from Viva. That's one. I'm doing it I'm using it on my mom, on myself, on my friend. So I think it shows me that it has very good result and it works fast, as it should. And in terms of NAD+, like I already mentioned, there is no NAD+ that would work directly, but there's exciting news. There's new NAD+ that will be orally bioavailable. So it will be able to go through the cell membrane, and it will actually go straight to mitochondria because it has special liposomes that kind of target NAD plus to mitochondria. And I already, this NAD plus is not available yet, but it's going to come in July, and I'm already waiting because I want to test it on myself first.
Me too.
And then, yes, so I'm really eager to test it and practice.
Amazing. So to summarize, the NAD is something that actually produced by our body, but a little deplenished. We're losing it as we're getting older. I'll avoid to use aging. And this is something that the first on the market will be orally taking NAD plus that has a liposomal cover that will be easily absorbed by our bodies, because I know that our celebrities in California spending $500 and $800 for one injection to stay long, and they have to do it on continuous basis. So this is all absolutely amazing news. And you mentioned the company where we can all get it is called Viva. Is that right?
Yes,
Yes.
it sounds like Spanish word viva, but it has two eyes.
Amazing. Well, I make sure we all will be looking out and waiting, and probably we can pre-order, can we?
Yes, we can pre-order this amazing capsule, the capsule of youth.
What do we need to do to pre-order? Do we need to go online, or how does it work for someone who's just watching?
I think you cannot do it just online. You have to find people who is actually affiliated with company, and they will help you to pre-order this NAD plus.
You can actually, people actually can PM us, and we will explain them how to do it.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I think this is very important, because only a distributor can probably answer the questions, how much, how to start, how much you have to take, because every distributor goes through the special training within the company. Is that correct?
That's correct. This is absolutely right. We go through the special training as a doctors, as a distributors, and everybody else. We know how to take it, we know where to take it, and first we have to speak to the people before we even take it.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate for giving me opportunity to speak to all of you and present this amazing news to the audience. As a surprise question I have for each of you, it's a summertime. What is your favorite flower?
I can go first. My favorite flower is cactus.
Huh.
Cactus
Interesting choice, Anastasia.
I love magnolia.
You can. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And Irina, for you?
Magnolia.
Magnolia. Oh, yeah, this is a beautiful.
The smell of it and the beauty of it is absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. And I know that this initiated by Dr. Irina. And so please, I let you finish this recording as soon as you are ready. And I want to say, everybody, thank you once again. Thank you for opportunity to speak to you, and goodbye.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. And we hope to see you soon in our next presentations. Bye-bye.